While planting a garden is not an overly taxing chore, planning for a four-season garden takes a little more thinking and organizing. Designing year-round gardens ensures that your home is surrounded by color and interest through the spring, summer, fall, and winter. Today, I will be teaching you how to make your garden full of flowers year-round. Creating a low-maintenance, high-impact landscape of sturdy, reliable plants whose colors and textures evolve throughout the seasons in a place where everything seems to sit together just right may seem to be a difficult concoction, but this elegant space is rather simple to master. Although it is somewhat easier for gardeners in the South to accomplish a variety of color all season long, northerly gardeners may achieve interest in color year-round as well by implementing plants with interesting foliage and other features. The key to a successful year-round garden is to know which species do best in your region and understand when their display is greatest. To create balance in your four-season garden, it is best to choose at least two types of plants that will flower together during each season. Preparing to design your year-round garden starts with having a plan. Factoring in the location of your garden, the different species of flowers and foliage you want to grow, the best soil for your plants, different climatic conditions, and designing a timeline to upkeep your garden throughout the year are all key components to design the perfect landscape. Before you ever put a spade in the soil or drop a seed in the ground, you need to sit down and think about what you want to achieve in your garden. First, you need to consider whether you have the space and conditions to grow what you want. The best site for a garden should incorporate the following: at least 6 hours of sunlight daily, good drainage and air circulation, and a level location with loose, rich soil. There should also be a nearby source of water and ideally convenient access to tool storage and equipment. Most gardeners plant a combination of seeds and transplants, choosing seeds for some veggies and transplants for others. Transplants are essentially baby vegetable plants and can give you more control and predictable results in the garden. They also provide a huge jump start on the season because they will mature sooner and leave you with an early harvest. Not only can they be more resistant to insect and pest pressure, they can be more cost-effective and an easy way to support local farmers. On the other hand, starting from seed allows you more choice in the variety that you grow. Planning your pick of seeds is important because it can be risky when weather hazards and weed pressure are present. Examples of direct seeds include beets, carrots, peas, radishes, spinach, and zucchini, while transplants tend to be vegetables like peppers, kale, eggplant, tomatoes, and onions. Creating a garden timeline will come in handy during your planning process, giving you time to prep your soil and plan out when you need to plant at different times depending on what your plants choose. Setting up watering, feeding, and weeding schedule is also important to grow your garden year-round. One of the most important reasons and resources needed to create this space is soil. If a good soil could be achieved merely by buying a bag of fertilizer from the garden center, most Americans would be boasting perfect soil. While fertility is obviously an aspect of good garden soil, there's so much more involved. Organic matter is key to mastering the perfect soil. Dead plant and animal tissue helps provide nutrients to your plants, while microorganisms help break down the organic matter into its basic elements, which enables plants to absorb and use it. In addition to compost, there are several other things you can add to your soil to increase the amount of organic matter. Grass clippings, autumn leaves, aged manure, and coffee grounds will help your garden soil increase in fertility, water retention, and improve texture. Testing your soil is important before laying it down. After you complete your perfect soil balance, you will decide which seeds and transplants are the best fit for your garden. Few flowers can withstand the warm summer months and the cold that winter brings. Knowing which flowers can endure it all will allow you to decorate your garden all year long. Some examples include asters, carnations, and chrysanthemums. Indeed, planting trees and shrubs is a great idea to achieve your year-round color. They offer interest through their form and foliage as well as through their flowers. Investing in gardening tools such as shovels, spades, weeders, garden scissors, and pruning shears are extremely useful to maintain the life of your outdoor nursery. The process for designing a year-round garden may be time-consuming, but an easy step-by-step procedure. First, you will begin to clear the ground by getting rid of the sod covering the area you plan to plant. Slice under the sod with a spade, cut the sod into sections to make it easier to remove, and then put it on your compost pile to decompose. Then, it is important to improve the soil so that the vegetables will grow. Leave the organic matter on the surface where it will eventually rot into humus. Working the soil is essential to preparing new beds for sowing or planting because it allows roots to penetrate the soil more easily to access water and nutrients. To prepare the beds, dig only when the soil is moist enough to form a loose ball in your fist, but dry enough to fall apart when you drop it. Use a sharp spade to gently turn the top 8 to 12 inches of soil, mixing in the organic matter. After this is completed, it is time to plant. Annual plants include geraniums, sunflowers, cosmos, peppers, cucumbers, and zinnias. Some plants, such as pansies and kale, tolerate cold, so you can plant them in autumn or late winter. Tomatoes and most annual flowers prefer warm temperatures, so planting them after the danger of frost has paused is important. Be sure to keep the seeds and seedlings moist, but not wet, or they may rot. Before being planted into the garden, transplants should be hardened off outdoors in a sheltered area for 7 to 10 days. In general, seeds should be planted at a depth of 2 times the width of the seed. For tiny seeds, place them on the surface of the soil and barely cover them with soil. From here, maintain your garden with correct amount of water and love as you watch them grow. To build a garden that really looks good all year round, a little planning is needed. The key steps are to take control of the garden, put in structure, and then fill the beds with plants that will grow and flower into a colorful landscape. Flowers aren't just for springtime, and planting your garden now will have you ready for seasonal planting and have you on your way to a nursery filled with vibrant colors, month after month after month. There will always be a high and low season in the garden, but it should never look completely devoid of color. Be patient, continually maintain a healthy ground for growing, and keep track of what has and what hasn't worked for you to become a better gardener.